Welcome to the long-awaited and highly requested tattoo tour. As many of you know, I am quite a tattooed girly. I started getting tattoos a decade ago, over a decade ago now, technically. And that's where we're at now. I'm a tattooed girl. I have them all over my arms and I have some on my legs. And many of you have asked about my tattoos. So I am going to do a tattoo tour for you. Every time I do one of these, they get dated almost immediately. So I'm gonna call this Tattoo Tour 2024. But I am not stopping getting tattoos anytime soon. So you may get another one of these in the future once I've added a few to my collection. But the last time I did a tattoo tour, I had absolutely nothing on this arm. So it's high time to do a new one. With that being said, let's start with my right arm, which are my three newest tattoos. These tattoos were all done by Britt Tigera, honey.b.tattoos on Instagram. I will insert a screenshot of her page here. These tattoos are my favorites. And the first one that I got was this thick mermaid. I have loved mermaids my whole life, and I really wanted a curvaceous mermaid that was kind of a mix of the birth of Venus. And that's what I got. She's gorgeous and stunning, and she fills out this part of my arm perfectly. And then next up, I decided I wanted to get my tarot tattoo. The outfit that this tattoo is wearing is very reminiscent of outfits that I have worn in the past. It's kind of an homage to this time of my life. And I identify with the Queen of Wands as my personal tarot card. So I decided to get Queen of Wands tattooed on me. There are lots of sunflowers, the face work, which I will zoom in on. The detail work is absolutely incredible with Britt. She's so talented. And then my third and final tattoo from Britt is my battle axe. This is my most recent tattoo. This is my D&D inspired tattoo. I'm planning on getting 2 tattoos inspired by my first 2 D&D characters. And this is the first one that I got because I thought the battle axe would fit perfectly. One of my favorite details is the little heart right here. This is based off of my barbarian character, Fleur Pharaoh, who was in the second campaign of Tabletop Tavern. This battle axe is so cool, and when I walk down the aisle, you're gonna be able to see the battle axe. It's gonna be so sick. I love this one. In terms of this arm, we still have to fill this back area, but I plan on having Britt do all of that as well. So yeah, that is my right arm. These are my most recent tattoos. It is the arm that I have been filling up the most. You will note that the elbow is empty. No. I'm not an elbow tattoo girly. That doesn't mean I'll never tattoo my elbows, but I'm just not there yet. We'll move on to my left arm next. My left arm is my patchwork sleeve. There are several artists on this arm, some of which I don't even know their usernames anymore because they might have changed, but we'll go from top to bottom. We're starting off with this peony on the back of my shoulder. This was done by, it was like Black Heart Tattoos or something on Instagram. She came for a guest spot at Grey Harbor in Hamilton, Ontario, and I loved her work, and so I went and got a peony done by her. I have these 3 roses done by Taylor, who is at Lil Indigo Tattoo. She also did the lilac on the inside of my arm. This heart was my first tattoo ever because I wanted it to be able to be easily hidden, but it's also the only color tattoo on my arms, and the color has faded so much in the last 10 years. I honestly think I want to get this changed to something and fill this space with something else to cover up the heart. After the lilac and the roses, we have another peony on the inside here. I actually this was by a tattoo artist in Montreal. Do not remember their username at all. I know it's changed a few times since I got this tattoo. It has been lost to the ages. This is one of my only fine line tattoos, and it has aged well so far, but I did get this before I knew the dangers of fine line tattoos blowing out. Thankfully, it hasn't blown out. And because it's been, like 6 or 7 years, I'm not super worried about it, but who knows, it might blow out someday. Then we have my forearm, which is an homage to The Two Princesses of Bel-Air by Gail Carson Levine, and my little chunky bee. This was done by Shade Dry on Instagram, and I loved their work. I really wanted a sword. I'm such a fantasy girly. It's also like low-key a little bit of an homage to Lady Macbeth. So it has a little bit of a double meaning for me, but the first meaning was The Two Princesses of Bel-Air, and then I also kind of liken it to Lady Macbeth as well. So this is one of my literary tattoos. I have several. And then my whole forearm, which twists around, was done by Jen Laws. This tattoo is one of my favorites because this was actually drawn on me in Sharpie and then she tattooed it over the Sharpie. So basically she saw the space and she filled it. And I basically gave her the vibe. I was like, I want sunflowers, I want a couple of roses, and then kind of you can do whatever you want. But I wanted a little bit of lavender in there. And so Jen Laws is a tattoo artist like very few others that I have met. And I absolutely adore this piece. It fits my arm perfectly. And I love how these two pieces work together. They look so cool. And then if you look closely, you can see my little 12 tattoo, which is actually a matching tattoo with my brother. 12 is our family's lucky number, so we had to get it done. Now we are moving to the legs. And what I'm gonna do for this is I'm gonna talk right here and then I'm just going to put footage that I shoot after. You can come on up, you can make the jump. And then I'm going to and then I'm gonna put the footage on afterwards because it's gonna be too difficult for me to shoot and explain. So I have 3 tattoos on my legs currently. Those tattoos are my Princess Leia tattoo. I love Star Wars. I've always loved Star Wars and I always wanted a Star Wars tattoo. The Leia was done by Tom Penny Tattoo. This was probably my most hardest to heal tattoo. It is also my tattoo with the most color. And so I think for me, my body struggles with healing tattoos with a large amount of color, but that doesn't mean I regret it. I love my Leia tattoo. He did such a good job with it. Thigh tattoos hurt way more than you would think. But I really, really, really love this tattoo. I do think my legs are going to have a little bit more color than my arms do. Then we will move down to the side, very, very close to my Leia tattoo, which is my Ode to Mary Shelley. This was done by Murder Q. The next 2 tattoos are done by the same person. I got this one because I am a massive fan of Mary Shelley and I'm a massive fan of science fiction, and she is the mother of science fiction, and I just think she was such a badass. And I love Frankenstein, and so I thought it would be a wonderful homage to have a ladylike Frankenstein hand holding an anatomical heart. I thought it went hard. I thought it, like, if Mary Shelley were to see a tattoo homage to her, people would think it's really cool. Like, she would think it's cool. And that was kind of like what guided my idea of what I wanted my Mary Shelley homage tattoo to look like. And so I got that. And then if we move down at my calf, we have my Medusa inspired tattoo. When I got this tattoo, Medusa inspired tattoos did not have the meaning that they have now. There's a cultural meaning around Medusa tattoos that I'm not going to talk about a lot. That is not why I got my Medusa tattoo. I've had a few people ask me if that's why I got my Medusa tattoo, and it is not. I got my Medusa tattoo because I was one class away from a classics minor, and I think Medusa is such a fascinating character in classical mythology, and she's so misunderstood, and yet she's still a badass. And so that is why I got my Medusa inspired tattoo, not for any other reason. So I purely got it because I want my left leg to be my bad bitch's leg. So that's why I was like, we'll get Medusa, we'll get Princess Leia, we'll get a Mary Shelley tattoo. I'm gonna get some sort of witch down there. I haven't decided what else I want down there, but the plan is to have that be like the bad bitch's leg. So that is why I got that one. In terms of other tattoos, I do have a ribcage tattoo. It says "Fear no fate," but I will be getting that one covered up because it is so fine line. I never see it, and it just doesn't really suit my vibe anymore. It had its purpose, and its purpose was to help me with my anxiety. I used to have very, very, very serious anxiety problems when I was in my 20s, and I worked very, very hard to figure out coping strategies for them. And now I obviously still have anxiety. It doesn't just go away, but I have found really great coping strategies, and I just don't know if that tattoo suits my needs anymore. So I will probably getting that one covered up. So that is the tattoo tour of 2024. This is probably going to change. My plan is to get an underboob tattoo soon, as well as fill out this arm and then eventually fill out the leg as well. But the next 2 on the docket are the underboob tattoo and finishing out the right arm so that it looks much more full than it, because like this part of this arm still feels kind of empty. But those are my tattoos. I would love to to know if you have tattoos, what your favorite tattoo is. Obi says hello. He's falling asleep on me. I would love to know what your favorite tattoo of mine is. And let me know if you have any questions. I will be in the comments answering them because I know lots of people have questions about tattoos, and I am quite a tattooed girl now, so I can like answer them, which is crazy. I was thinking about it the other day, how I'm like low key, when people see me, they probably think, oh, she's heavily tattooed. Whereas I don't even really think about my tattoos anymore, but anyone with tattoos can attest that that is a thing that happens. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching. And I hope you enjoy this like tattoo tour. I hope you liked it. Let me know any of your questions. I hope you have a wonderful morning, noon, night, evening, whatever time it is, wherever you are. And I will see you in the next video. Bye.